The Undercountry Music News is an excerpt of the weekly internet broadcast Undercountry Music, which features music from great country artists you won't hear on mainstream radio, as well as a roundup of the most interesting country music news of the week without all the fluff. This program you're listening to right now contains only the news portion of the show. To listen and subscribe to the full weekly episode containing the music and interviews, please visit undercountrymusic.com or simply subscribe to the Undercountry Music Podcast on iTunes. Let's get into it. Hey, have you heard the news? Well, you're about to, because it's time for the Undercountry Music News! I love doing that. It never gets old. But I do. And hopefully I haven't gotten old to you. Because every week here, I like to expose those who are, let's say, tasked with exposing the news of the week in country music. And this is the section I call the Undercountry Music News. It took me months to come up with that name. Anyway, the Undercountry Music News is where every single week I go onto Google, I type in the search term country music news, and whatever websites come up on the front page of Google, I pop a cap in their ass, and then I slice them up the middle, pull out the guts, and I make sure that there's news up in there. If there ain't no news up in there and it's all a bunch of fluff press releases, I get them on the meat hook, and I spin them around and I make them rotate on it while I give them the Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week. It's disgusting. Sounds something like this. Yes, real burp, real right here, real right now. Shall we get into it? Let's do it. I got a lot of news to bring you today. Over at CMT, you can listen to the new Bacon Brothers single, 493 Miles. Now, the Bacon Brothers, that's Kevin Bacon's band. Yeah. You've seen Footloose, right? Good. Then we can move on. Kenny Chesney's song, American Kids, is the top country song in the land right now. And believe it or not, I actually like the song. I was kind of lukewarm on it at first, but I must say that the more I've listened to it, the more I kind of got into it. Lots of little subtleties to that song that the casual listener might not pick up on, but after playing it 5 million times as a DJ, I'm getting them. And it's cool. Anyway, also over at CMT, they've got a story about Keith Urban canceling concerts and flying to Australia to be by his wife Nicole's side after the sudden and unexpected death of his father-in-law, Dr. Anthony Kidman. Prayers go out to the Kidman family. That sucks. But I think he lived to be a good ripe old age, so that doesn't suck. Lynn Anderson, best known for her song Rose Garden. I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. That one, yeah. She was arrested on September 11th and charged with a DUI after being involved with a collision in Nashville. According to an affidavit, which I actually have no freaking idea what an affidavit is. But anyway, she admitted to drinking alcohol and taking prescription medication at the same time. Lynn Anderson, you and me got a party. Over at Taste of Country, they have a video of Maddie and Tae playing their hit song, Girl in a Country Song, on David Letterman. And, while I do like this act, and I really like this song, there are parts in the live performance on David Letterman where the band almost completely drops out in the song. And Maddie and Tae are there strumming, their guitar and mandolin. And I got to tell you, there ain't no sound coming out of either one of those. So Maddie and Tae, WTF? Are these instruments just pieces of jewelry to you? I mean, what's going on here? I'm not about to throw you under the bus because I like you. So hit me. Tell me, why couldn't we hear your instruments? Now, many country artists are notorious for not playing their instruments, just wearing it and pretending to play it while they're on stage. Why? I have no frickin' idea. Because if you can't play the damn thing, set it down and just sing. It's obnoxious, okay? Knock it off. Over at Taste of Country as well. Grand Ole Opry member George Hamilton IV. No, not the guy with all the serious suntan going on. This is, the country artist, George Hamilton IV. He's been hospitalized after suffering a serious heart attack. Now, George is best known for his hit song, Abilene. You able to place that one? It goes, Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town that I ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean in Abilene, my Abilene. That tune? If you've ever heard that, that's this guy. Anyway, he's laying in a hospital bed right now, trying to recover from a quote-unquote serious heart attack, and I'm sure he could use your prayers. So if you can spare some prayer, please send it over to Mr. George Hamilton IV, please. Now, no other details are currently known about his condition, so they are keeping the lid on it over there. All right, over at Country Weekly, there's a video of a song that was recorded live, video recorded live on a back porch, it looks like, by 15-year-old Melody Williamson, who is a member of the country band, the family country band, Williamson Branch. And I got to tell you, this song, it's just going viral. And for good reasons, because it's a country song that actually says something and isn't total crap. The song is called There's No Country Here. And she's singing about, turning on the radio to the country stations, and there ain't no country there. Looking over at Music Row, and, well, there ain't no country coming out of there either. And you absolutely have to give this a listen. The song is, just completely fabulous. Says everything I'm feeling about the state of country music these days. Now, I have sent a message over to the Williamson Branch family asking their permission to play it here on the show. And if and when I get that permission, I plan to bring it to you. But in the meantime, head on over to Country Weekly and you can stick it in your ears right now. You'll be glad you did. Over at GAC, Great American Country, Krystal Keith in the kitchen with her recipe for peach and prosciutto pizza with truffle honey, which isn't really country music news, but this next one is. There's been a revelation that Florida Georgia line was originally named Orange Peach. That's right. Florida Georgia Line's original name was Orange Peach. I don't even know what to say to that. So I'm just going to move along. Also at GAC, there's a story that Carrie Underwood is producing a TV series based on the song Two Black Cadillacs. And in this TV series, the wife and mistress of a cheating SOB of a husband, those two find out about each other and they team up to put this guy 6 feet under. And then when they meet at the funeral, it turns out that both of them drive a black Cadillac. Purchased by douchebag. And hence the name Two Black Cadillacs. Two different women. Two black Cadillacs. I wouldn't mess with them. All right, over at the 615, which is a subsection of Billboard.com, Vince Gill is set to receive a BMI Award. They actually give an award out for your BMI these days? Wow. I got a lot of BMI. Give me some awards. Point me towards White Castle. But not before you point me over to theboot.com. They have a story on Ricky Skaggs' autobiography. There's also a cut off the new Jerry Lee Lewis album, The Knox Phillips Sessions. Knox Phillips is Sam Phillips' son, who runs Sun Records over in Memphis. You know, and Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash, they all had that history at Sun, if you recall. Now, this was actually recorded about 40 years ago. Anyway, it's got the Killers singing a cover of Bad Leroy Brown in what sounds like a really drunk midnight recording session. And thinking back to that time in history, that's probably about where Jerry Lee was in his life. But the song is lethargic. Jerry Lee's voice starts going hoarse about halfway through, kind of like mine right now. I got to tell you, it's just sad to hear Jerry Lee Lewis this way. He might not be that way now that he's, a very old man. But, the way he was in the 70s. And I have to imagine this to be at the height of his craziness. Hopefully there will be better tracks to come from this album, but in my experience, you don't usually lead with your worst stuff. So if this is the best stuff that he's got to bring, ouch. I love the Killer, but gotta call it like I see him. Now, also at the boot, the last song Glen Campbell ever recorded, entitled I'm Not Gonna Miss You. It's going to be released in late September, and it will be included in the upcoming Glen Campbell documentary entitled I'll Be Me. They haven't finished making that dang documentary yet? Suppose not. Also, Lee Brice makes a plea for people to listen to his entire new album in order. Personally, I'm going to first not listen to track 1, and then I'll not listen to a track or 2, and so on and so forth, while I wait for my meal. And I have no idea why I just said that. I am like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. Okay, so first, I'm not going to listen to track 1, then I'm not going to listen to track 2, then I'm not going to listen to track 3, then I'm not going to listen to track 4. So how about that, Lee Brice? Don't tell me how to listen to albums. I'll listen to them any damn way I want to. Over at Nashville Gab, nothing real interesting here this week. And you know what that means? The Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week. And I think Nashville Gab's got it like 2 weeks running here. Anyway, moving on to Country Standard Time. The Boxmasters. The Americana band that features Billy Bob Thornton. The guy who played Bad Santa. He was married to Roseanne Barr. Yeah, that guy. Anyway, the Boxmasters have signed with 101 Ranch Records, and they have a new album coming out next year. And that's all I got. Because this has been your... listening to the Undercountry Music News. The Undercountry Music News is just a small excerpt of the weekly, hour-long internet broadcast Undercountry Music, where I, Neil Smith, not only round up the week in country music news and put my own spin on it, but I also play music and have great interviews by lesser-known original country acts, the kind that you won't hear on mainstream country radio. If you're thirsting for that, get on over to undercountrymusic.com where you can listen and subscribe. You can also subscribe via iTunes to Undercountry Music. Thanks so much. Stay under, stay country.